All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here, and today I'm excited to be bringing you a different piece from Seiko. Something that there's not a whole lot of pictures or videos or anything out there on YouTube of this watch. I have seen one or two videos out there, some pretty good stuff, so you can go definitely go check those out. What we're looking at here today is the Seiko SRP587. This watch is affectionately known as the Mohawk, and I think it's pretty obvious why. It's gained this moniker, and I think rightfully so. I think it's like the perfect name for this watch here with this raised 20-minute section here of the bezel. It's actually a separate addition onto the watch. You guys can see there's 3 screws that actually hold that piece onto the bezel. It's a highly polished, it appears to be like a PVD coated piece there or something like that. So pretty cool. Something that really attracted me to this watch, and I definitely wanted to give it a whirl. I've actually had this watch, believe it or not, guys, sitting in my basket at Amazon for quite a while. I've just never hit the buy it now button, and I finally the other day I said, you know what, I really love that watch, and I'm going to give it a try. And I'm so glad I did, because some of the specs online and stuff about this watch kind of make it a little iffy, something you maybe don't want to try out, but I'm going to try to clear some of that up here for you guys today in this video and give you some ideas on it. Okay, first of all, what drew me to this watch was the classic, obvious Seiko divers, what we got going on here with the dial. Very classic layout, very similar to your SKX and stuff, a lot of that. Slight differences in the handset, obviously, but very similar shape to what we're used to from Seiko. But very, very well done. I love the red minute hand with the stripe up the middle, and the contrasting white hour hand with the chrome stripe up the middle. Also here on the second hand, it has a red tip here, which is cool. And you've got your typical flying meatball there on the back end, letting you know that your watch is running on dives when you have lume. This watch has spectacular lume. At the end of the video, I will get you guys a wrist shot of this watch, as well as the lume shot. So you guys can see this is from the Pro Spec series from Seiko. Down there at the 6 o'clock position, you guys can see the Pro Specs logo there, the S and the P mated together, the automatic and the diver's 200 meter. This is a K version, guys. I'll let you know that. I did pick it up online through Amazon, and I don't think there's a J model of this available that I'm aware of. So pretty cool thing. I'm going to jump to the dimensions here because I think there's a lot to be said about this. So side to side, this watch basically, and it's rated that way, is a 45 millimeter watch. You do have quite a bit of meat here on this this bezel addition here, which adds to that. But one of the unique things about the size of this watch and what makes this watch wear so well is look at the case, guys, from the side here. This watch actually tapers from 45 down to 41.7 where it sits on your wrist. So it really sits on the wrist well. And another thing it has is these really nice curved lugs here, which really make the watch hug your wrist. So 45 millimeters side to side there. You're looking at 51 basically from lug tip to lug tip. You've got 13.4 millimeters of thickness on this watch, and you do have a 22 millimeter lug opening, which is awesome because I've seen advertised numerous places that this watch has 23 millimeter lugs, which would just be stupid. And it doesn't. It has 22 millimeter lugs, so it's a standard good lug size. So I did get this watch fitted to myself, guys. It uses Seiko's pin and collar system. If you guys are not used to working with this type of a, these bracelets with the pin and collar system, I'd strongly just suggest taking it to a jeweler and having it done. That's what I did. It cost me $20 to have it sized beautifully, and it works really nice. Pretty good bracelet they've got here from Seiko, as you guys can see. It's pretty much brushed finish, but then in between, they've added this polish in between the links, which I think really kind of adds to it, and it's a different look. Very nice. Solid in links on this this bracelet here, and very nicely done. This watch also has push buttons of Dunlap. What we have over here too is, you guys can see this has the diver's extension also, so you can wear this over your wetsuit if that is something you need to do. So very cool there. See if we can get this to close up. Not really necessary. We'll go ahead and just close it and take a closer look. But nice, I do like the bracelet on the watch. I think it's very nicely done. Typical of Seiko, 120 click bezel, which is really nice, and it locks in super tight. You guys can see. And one thing I'll point out here, guys, that I am so thrilled with, especially on this model, and from Seiko, is the alignment. I don't see any alignment issues on this watch whatsoever. Everything lines up. The bezel lines up perfectly. The dial and the chapter ring line up perfectly. So Good job, Seiko, on this one. One got out with no problems. Drilled lugs on this to make strap changes easy if you do want to change this metal bracelet. This watch looks great on a NATO strap. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture of it last night on a brown NATO strap, and it looked really cool. Very cool watch. I mean, just different, guys. If, you know, I know there's a lot of turtles, and the baby turtles and the samurais are kind of the big thing right now, but if you want something different, I think this is a good one to look at. I mean, you're getting, this watch is running the 4R36, so it's the same movement you're getting in the turtle watches and numerous other watches that Seiko makes. It's a great movement with a day-date function in it. It's in the Prospex lineup, so it makes it one of their true ISO-rated professional divers watches, you know, as far as that goes. So very cool. This watch is running Hardlex crystal, you know, which is a proprietary crystal from Seiko, and very nicely done. Bring it up here so I can show you these lugs. This was something I thought was great. So kind of reminds me a little bit of the lugs on the Samurai, the way they dive down. They don't tend to be as sharp, but I really like the way they brushed the top of the lug, but then this bottom portion down here, there's polishing done there. It's really looks good. I'm having a little bit of trouble with focus because of all the shiny spots on this watch here, but polished case all along the sides there, brushing right here on the top, and it's also, you know, I don't have the bracelet off, but I've had it off. It's also polished inside of there, along the bottom of the case. So if you guys do decide to run it on a NATO strap, you don't need to worry about that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to pause the camera here for a second so we can go ahead and get a loom shot and a wrist shot of this watch here. Give me a second, guys. Okay, guys, so typical bright sunshiny day here in California. So we will just get a little bit of sunshine on this bad boy and take it into the cave for a look-see. All right, let's do this. Yeah, guys, no surprise. Typical Seiko loom, bright, lasts all night. So that's my review of the SRP587, guys, the Mohawk from Seiko. Awesome watch. Leave a link down below where you can find one of these on Amazon. If you guys like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. If you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Thanks, guys.